Okay, here I am again in the same spot. Right now, in the moment, I don't even remember when exactly was the time when I was doing my first video on this channel. Maybe it is around 2 years ago, or at least 1.5 or so. Okay, just a very pissed off drunk girl complaining about life, very loud. Okay, so actually I can relate very much, but never mind. So I just came down here because I had some very serious uh, showering enlightenment flash or so. I mean, I have these energy maximums usually very frequently in the shower. I don't know how and why, but yeah, it is my pattern. And usually I just wanna go to my bed and not doing anything in these late hours because I have a routine to getting ready for a good sleep, and it is quite complex and long. I mean, I avoid every potentially stressful stuff in the last few hours, and it is a process which I appreciate a lot, and it works very good. So when I have this word changing enlightenment flash under the shower, I usually I'm partially very happy because it feels very good. Sometimes there are really valuable, great ideas and just very good things in these moments. But yeah, these moments usually are like they tell me just do something now. I mean now, and I just don't because I wanna sleep and I wanna respect my sleeping habits and everything. But right now I was just thinking about it, and okay, now I will do it, but for a very different reason. I will not upload this video, even if I will later, a few days or weeks from now. Uh, but this is very different in a reason. But anyway, I just wanted to to create this video, uh, and I wanted to take it in the same spot because I think something very important happened 1.5 years ago approximately. I'm not sure yet, but never mind. So in the first video I was in the depth of a very extremely serious uh, burnout. I was talking about that very briefly in my first, I don't know, first few videos, but not very, I don't know, maybe it was not, so I wasn't even conscious about it. I was underestimated. I underestimated it. No mind. And yeah, that is another thing. I really should not correct my stupid, shitty English all the time because it makes it much more shitty. But it is in progress. So sorry about that. So the fact that right now, under the shower, I just realized something very important. I mean, it is not something very complicated, it is not even something very new, but the depth of the feeling and the seriousness of it was completely new for me. And that is why I just became very, I don't know, I had got a bunch of energy from the nothing. Because yeah, fast forwarding for now, I am hopefully, I hope so, in the end of extremely serious overtraining syndrome, but it is much more related to my usual general life stress than my trainings, because my trainings are not even exist. I mean, compared to my last trainings in my whole life, because I was training very hard in my whole life, but not in the last 1.5, 2 years, because I was just, just ruining my body and all my bio I don't know the word. So the biomarkers, yeah, my biomarkers were very shitty in this last 1.5 years, and I was very well aware of that. So I didn't ruin my body, at least. So it is something very great, and I'm grateful for that. But in the same times, I was just in between the regeneration, the normal complete regeneration from my burnout and training again. So I was just rushing it again and again and again and again, more than 100 or maybe thousands times, which is very, it is extremely annoying and painful. I mean, mentally or spiritually. And right now, I just understood something about my burnout. My burnout was, coming from my job. I was an IT professional in my last I was just accidentally almost said that my last normal job, and that is another some problem related to my burnout. Okay, it is another fast forwarding thing. Um so, but I don't want to speak about my current job, which is something like a dream job for me. So it is my hobby, my passion, from my previous whole life, from my early childhood. But I will talk about that later. But it is about the lifestyle and health and movement and the body culture and the holistic mind and body connection and very good stuff. But to be very short right now, I so it was just a disaster, the change. Actually, I was even successful in the change. It was very I think it was I was very lucky with the change. Um so everything is just going great, but my burnout and my overtraining syndrome just doesn't go away, and it gets worse and worse and worse. So it was something like a red flag for me that something is not good. uh, but yeah, and I think maybe just now, oh what the fuck, this is a very unrealistic machine. Just, oh, I think this machine is just killing the mosquitoes right now, which looks very unhealthy. So I think I really should go to the inside. Yeah, I cannot show you because my front camera is not capable of showing that, but yeah, it looks and sounds very scary. But I will, yeah, there is, it has a giant it is like a cannon or so, and it is spraying some very disgusting stuff to the trees. So I just go to the inside because it is definitely pretty unhealthy. Okay, yeah, and I should be much more calm and silent here because there are living people. So And I was just wondering in my mind, okay, this will be a very shitty video, but I will upload it definitely, just to be realistic. Okay, because that was my original plan with this channel in the first place. Okay, I will try to remember. Yeah, and I'm really tired. It is very late in the night. Okay, I was just talking about the burnout, yeah, and my realizations under the shower. So the most important realizations today under the shower a few minutes ago was that something like yeah, so in the burnout I was feeling that something is really not good in my previous job, in my IT career, but I couldn't understand and couldn't realize something very important, which was, and this is something very new, I didn't even think about it ever until a few minutes ago under the shower, and that is when I had this serious burnout in the IT years before. My sports, my passion, my hobbies, I mean my own sports, because as you will see later, some videos later, I started to be a trainer guy, and you know, helping other people finding the right solution for their problems, changing the lifestyle and doing sports, and you know, enjoying the things. But I'm not talking about this. Then my personal sports and hobbies just very slowly and slightly started to be problematic in a way which was very strange for me, and I didn't ever notice any relation to my job burnout. And actually right now I was just realizing that these two things are the same actually. Maybe it is not even the case that my IT job was the main problem and the more spiritual problem, and my sport and hobbies problem was just something like a collateral damage or so. Uh, Maybe these two things was in the same level in the problem. I mean, yeah, I think it is not very clear what I mean. So I was thinking about, and right before my seemingly and yeah, touchable burnout from my job, there were signs that I started to change my sports much more frequently. It was very normal for me to change my sports because I just love my sports so much that I love to change them quite frequently compared to other people. But it was a very good and hard feeling and yeah, great thing for me before that. But in the last few years of before my burnout, I was just changing too frequently, and these changes was something like different, and I felt something like rolling down to from a mountain downways. So it was just like not a good perspective in my hobbies, and maybe that was my starting point before my IT career burnout started. And the core of the realization was that the same thing ruined my hobbies and my IT career. And it is the performance, chasing performance, to be very precise. I was very maximalist in my whole life, which is very funny because in the school I was so I didn't have good grades, although all my teachers told me that I'm quite intelligent, which is, yeah, I was aware that it is true, but I was just not motivated at all, but not in every, not in any degree. So I was just don't give a shit about learning because I felt that it is pointless, because it is just, an endless stepping seemingly up and up and up and up. This is an endless downside spiral. I saw it that way because I just saw the people with high uh, college degrees and doing very valuable, honorable job, like doctors and then lawyers and so, and they didn't seem to be happy for me. So I was just much more like a hippie guy or so in my high school age also. So I didn't give a shit about school, but in my things which I liked, I was very terrible maximalist. And after my turning point, when I was starting to chasing money for a few years because I just wanted to be free. I think the plan was until my 35 years old, which actually I have 4 years more, so maybe it is a possibility. No, I just skipped this idea because it was very crazy. It was nonsense. I pushed it halfway, and it looked like it is reasonable and it is doable because at the checkpoints, I mean the milestones, monetarily, in my wealth increasement, the milestones was fulfilled. It was very hard, but I could fulfill the milestones. So theoretically, if I just continue this route, I could be totally free monetarily for my 35 years birthday. But 1.5 years ago, I just felt that I will die before my 35, or at least I will die right after the 34. So I just felt it doesn't worth anything. So I just quit. And yeah, of course the incline just stopped. And in the last 1.5 years, I was just nearly keeping my our savings. So there is no problem at all. And I'm very grateful for that. It is much easier like this, but it is even very extremely hard like this. So yeah, and I was just wondering in my thoughts and just okay, this video will be like this. It is good like this. So my realization that this crazy nonsense performance chasing in my core beloved, very important, deep values, which are actually fake values, but I will talk about this later. So it was just crazy, and it was not just in my career, and that is the thing, because so that is the reason why I have the overtraining syndrome right now, even after half a year of successfully changed to my dream job, my passion, and it is worse and worse and worse. It is not just the case that the burnout stays the same. It is worse and worse and worse. My performance, my well-loved performance, my most important thing in my life, just ruins and ruins and ruins with every month and every week. And this is because I didn't have this burnout only in my career as I thought one day ago, 1 hour ago. This burnout is much broader than I thought. This was the complete burnout of my whole life. I mean, my mind itself. So and I think the reason why I become able to realize this is that I was just successfully walked out of it by the end of the burnout. If this is the end of the burnout, I hope it is. It is. So I think I really couldn't realize this earlier, and it feels very good because I'm not sad or I'm not angry to myself not realizing this earlier. I think this is just the way. A few days ago I just read a book from Rinchi. He was a Buddhist monk and a very famous one, and his teachings are based on some very few core principles, and one of them, in my understanding, is something like that there are no short ways in chasing enlightenment. And yeah, that is something very funny thing. It was very funny, at least for me, under the shower, that when I was just realizing the whole picture of my life, chasing performance, every single part of my life, and I was just realizing that, okay, I knew very well that in my job that was the main problem, that I was just chasing performance. I just wanted to, escape from the work cycle. So this is the top of the performance chasing in the topic of the job. But I was also chasing performance in my hobbies, in my sports. Okay, it is really something quite reasonable. It is quite, it is very usual. I think now it is not a very good thing. For myself, at least, it was not a good thing, never. But these are usual things. But I was just a maximalist, and I was chasing performance even in my marriage, in my fatherness. So me being a father, my parenthood also. These are maybe quite something a lot of people do this. But the very funny part was that when I was just realizing that in the last few years, 5 or 4 at least, I was really chasing extremely the performance in enlightenment. So I was literally practicing yoga and researching yoga and learning, and of course teaching, but mostly learning and researching yoga and the movement, and but in the core of this desire, it was just getting the enlightenment as fast as possible, because I was just feeling that I will die very soon if I don't accomplish this thing, enlightenment, because I felt I'm just such a mess, disaster. So I was just not capable of anything. I mean, living a normal, calm life. But I'm not talking about the outer stuff, because my family, my career, my business, my friendships, all of those things was quite good because I'm very lucky, I think, with my family and friends and people around me. But in myself, I was just terribly suffering, and I felt that the only one thing which could save me is enlightenment, and I was just chasing it totally, which is very funny because, yeah, this is one of the core principles of Lynch's teaching, and I'm pretty sure that every other bigger philosophy has this core principle that there are no short ways of getting the enlightenment, and if you want enlightenment such strong, you definitely cannot get it. Yeah, but this is just it was just very funny to realize that I was even doing this. So it sounds like a very stupid thing, but I'm very calm now and I'm quite happy. And finally, I think I started to, maybe I just started to love myself, uh, even even to my past self. I was just, I don't know, somehow just not regret. Uh, when you hate somebody or you are angry and you just release. I don't remember the word right now in English. Okay, so I really want to find that word. Never mind. So maybe I just started to love myself. I mean, with my very stupid things in my past, in my present, and in my future, because there are no short ways, and yeah, everything is in their place. I feel that right now, and it feels very good. Okay, so this is a terrible, very long half an hour now, but I think I will upload this because I just want to try to upload because it is quite very shitty. So this is the opposite of my performance chasing myself. So if I can upload this and just being calm after that, that is really something. This is a very big step. Oh, this is very interesting. I just said this is a very big step, which is chasing performance again. Yeah, so I think this will be not a very short ride, but there are no short ways. So I will be patient. I think I will be able to accept and love myself in the process more and more, and it will be easier and easier, I hope. But if not, I will resist, but not like before chasing performance. I will be kind to myself, and I will just try to gently, slowly release this tension over my head from myself. Oh, and one very last thing, which was very funny. It was a good thing to realize and saying out in my head. I was very lucky with my parents and older people in my family, because there was no pressure, no real pressure. I mean, there was something, very little pressure, but not. So I didn't have a classic dad who is very strict and want me to be a doctor or a lawyer, or have any big performance. But you know what? I was my fucking classic, stupid, strict dad, wanting me, myself, to be something great, a world champion, or something very great. And that was the reason of my performance chasing stuff. So it was very funny because, yeah, I didn't get uh, any stupid dad like that. On the contrary, my dad just didn't want anything from me, which could be, which should have been very deliberating. But I become my own stupid, classic, strict dad. Yeah. So don't blame your stupid, classic, strict dad, because if you don't have one, maybe you become your. Yeah. So it's very funny. Have a good night. I will.